Hello guys, criminal law na tayo, pre-week lecture, no? So dito po sa criminal law, we will try to discuss yung mga nauulit lagi na bar questions. No? Kung mapapansin nyo sa bar stats, no? Yung mga enrollees natin na mayroon ding bar Q&A before, no? Pero dito naman po sa pre-week natin, nakalagay naman dyan yung bar stats. If you can see the notes, if you can see the reviewer, marami po talagang naulit. 9 times, 8 times. I was not expecting na falsification 8 times mauulit. I was not expecting that at all. Okay? I was expecting na uh, okay. I was expecting na marami talaga sa sabihin natin carnapping, mga ganyan, no? Not the case pala. Falsification, kaya maganda talaga nagsasagot ng bar Q&A, no? Sinagutan natin. Kasi, uulitin ko, naka 5 ulit na ata ako, natatanggal yung bias sa isip natin kung ano ba dapat yung kailangan nating aralin para maging ready tayo sa bar exams. No, so with that being said, kukumpara natin yung criminal law sa ibang mga subjects. No? Napansin ko sa criminal law, like labor law, ang dami po talaga nung every year tinatanong yung topic na to. Like indeterminate sentence law, 7 times for the past 10 years. Kidnapping, 9 times for the past 10 years. 9 times. Isang taon lang, basically isang taon lang nag-miss out. So likely sa panahon nyo, sa bar nyo, itatanong yung kidnapping. If I can remember correctly, natanong sa amin yung kidnapping ng taon namin. 2020, 2021 bar. No? Hindi lang po sa tinanong nung 2022. No? Tapos 2023, asked again. O di malamang baka itanong din sa inyo. Marami pong ganito sa criminal law, no? So dito po sa dito sa pag inaral niyo yung criminal law, no, you have how many more weeks, no? Dito sa mga nalalabing linggo bago mag-bar exam, ang suggestion ko po sa criminal law, kung ganitong nakita nyo ni bar stats na napakadalas na ulit, dapat ang priority sa isip nyo, ito ang babalikan nyo. Second rate, ito ang uunahin nyo dapat. Assuming na hindi nyo pag sabihin natin, hindi nyo pag no? Hindi pa masyadong master. Ito dapat ang balikan nyo. Siyempre, kung master nyo na, ba't babalikan nyo pa? Di ba? Ibang usapan na yun. Di ba? Pag binalikan nyo pa, mag-asayang lang kayo ng oras. Rather, go to the other topics or other subjects na mahina tayo. Sabihin natin, wala tayong bias. No? Hindi natin alam kung saan tayo master na o hindi. Saan tayo magaling na o hindi. Focus kayo dun sa mga madalas na natatanong. Kasi, di ba, numbers never lie. Di ba? Numbers never lie. Kung natanong ng madalas before, likely, matatanong din ng madalas later on. Di ba? This is the purpose of ito, aside from dun po sa enrollees natin, no? Aside from giving you yung sagot do sa bar Qs, no? Ito talaga ang isang important reason bakit kailangan nating sagutan yung bar questions for the past 10 years. This is the reason. Para matanggal yung bias natin. No? It took a lot of effort, no? It took a lot of energy, industry. No, naging family code na. It took a lot of energy, industry time. No? Ang dami po talagang naubos na oras to answer all of these bar questions. But, no, patapos na rin naman yung patapos na rin yung bar season, it was worth it. Kasi I can share the statistics without any bias, no? Bakit po natin, yun naman ang point ng pre-week, no? We're not saying na ito ilalabas. We're just saying na ito yung lumabas before, no? So, we're not guaranteeing anything na ito talaga ilalabas sa pag 20 questions sa inyo sa criminal law, all 20 will be predicted by us. Hindi po ganun, no? Hindi naman kami si Nostradamus, di ba? Hindi kami fortune teller. Hindi kami ganun kagaling. However, we're approaching this, no, using statistics, using chairs cases. Everything was collated by us. Chairs cases, bar Q&A, and of course, no, yung mga, ano ba, tawag dito, timeless. Di ba? Mas top of our heads naman yan pag nakapasa na tayo ng bar. Timeless principles for criminal law, labor law, and so on. No? Sayang nga, hindi kinaya ng oras, hindi kinaya ng time kasi first year pa lang ng bar season. Pero ang pangarap ko talaga, magkaroon talaga ng reviewers from scratch lahat. No? All subjects, Kahit hindi man ako ang lecturer sa lahat ng topics, I cannot do that kasi unang-una hindi ako CPA lawyer. Di ba? Hindi kaya. However, I can make reviewers. Okay, we can make reviewers kasi nakapasa din naman tayo ng bar. Di ba? Taxation law, ipinasa din natin yan. Di ba? No problem. Pinasa rin natin ng law school, no? Hindi naman tayo nahirapan ng law school. I'm just saying, parang, in my opinion lang, parang yung taxation law na subject, kahit na kaya naman siyang i-discuss ng lawyer, pero parang dapat it's a special place for CPA lawyers. Pwede namang hindi, di ba? Pwede namang ako din talaga mag-lecture. I'm just saying, since I have a limited time, no? Hindi naman finite naman ang oras ng lahat every day. Rather, I would just rather focus on doon talaga sa pang pure lawyers, yung hindi CPA lawyers like remedial, no? Civil, di ba? Yung mga yan. I would focus my time there. O sabihin natin, hindi ko man kayang i-lecture lahat. At least, nagawan po natin ng reviewers lahat ng topics. Yun yung pangarap ko sana sa year 2 na sana magawa, no? Doon sa mga nag-defer, no? Sana magawa ko siya, no? Ng mga enrollees. Anyway, no? Pre-week naman tayo. So, tandaan niyo po dito, 29 topics ang namarkahan ko na at least 3 times tinanong. Or more, no? As high as 9 times. Tama ba ako? May masutas ba sa 9? As high as 9 times. Sa labor law ata, di ba? Kung naalala niyo yung discussion ko, double digits. Mas marami pang natanong na questions about that topic kumpara sa bar years. Years ng bar, di ba? Ito, ang pinakamataas dito is 9 times. Kidnapping, guys. 9 times. Ang next doon, falsification, 8 times. Next doon, indeterminate sentence law, 7 times. Itong indeterminate sentence law, tinanong ng 2013, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2020, 2021 bar ng taong ko. So, di siya natanong for the past 2 years, noong 2022 at saka 2023. Baka sa inyo itatanong. Ganun eh, no? 'Di ba? Now we have a reason ba't natin siya kailangang aralin. Nagigit, 'di ba? Pag talaga stats-based yung approach natin, we can make an honest prediction, 'di ba? We can make a sensible prediction why this will be or will not be asked. Okay? Kasi, 'di ba, you have finite time, so hindi niyo naman mababasa lahat eh. No one can read everything, no? Kasi ano ba to? 100 more than 100 years of jurisprudence and principles ang meron sa Pilipinas. Kahit na 2 taon, 3 taon kayong mag-aral for the bar, no? You're preparing that long for the bar. Hindi niyo talaga kayang mabasa lahat. You will never be 100% ready. Kasi we have so many things to read, di ba? So yun, no? Ang gusto ko lang sabihin, ulitin ko to summarize, kung mag-second read kayo, at wala pa kayong master, wala pa kayong magaling na talaga kayo sa topic na yun, I suggest balikan nyo yung madalas talagang natatanong. Chances are, yan din ang itatanong sa bar exam. Sabihin natin yung mga ano ba? Yung mga frequent questions sa bar based on stats. I-combine natin siya sa chairs cases. Aba, yun ang sinasabi nating baon. May baon ka na. Kasi, talaga namang every year, no? Meron talagang lumalabas. Well, di pala every year, no? Kasi nung time ko ata, nung year ko, wala ata masyadong, I'm not sure, no? I'm not sure. Pero, matagal lang kasi, no? Ilang taon na nakalipas. Sa akin lang, no? Almost always. Every year ng bar, talagang may lumalabas na galing sa chairs cases. So kung meron kayo nun, no, meron kayo nun, ididikit naman natin, ilalagay naman natin sa pre-week yung mga chairs case, no? At meron kayong stats. And then we were able to discuss yung mga topics na ito, no? Hindi naman stats lang ibibigay sa inyo, may discussion pa nga tayo, meron din tayong reviewer. About that, about these topics na madalas na natatanong. Di ba? Na magkakaroon talaga tayo ng tawag dito, advantage to pass the bar. Kasi nga statistics based yung approach natin. Okay. Simulan natin sa CRIM 1. No? Tandaan nyo pala sa criminal law, parang labor din. Karamihan po ng tanong sa labor law nasa labrel. Yung book 2, basically. Yung part 2 ng labor. Ganon din po sa criminal law. Yung book 2 at saka special penal laws ang karamihan ng tanong. Sabihin natin, if you have 20 questions for criminal law, probably 7, crime 1, 13, crime 2. Okay, ganun. 7:13 yan o 6:14. Ganun po kalaki yung difference between the two topics. Talagang karamihan ng itatanong sa inyo, kidnapping, libel, falsification, bouncing checks, anti-graft and corrupt practices, VAUSI, mga ganyan ang dialogue. More often than not. Okay? So, i-focus muna natin yung RIM 1, no? Couple of topics. No? Simulan natin sa generality at saka sa territoriality principle. No? Ito tatandaan nyo lagi. No? Hindi lang po masasagot ang tanong using territoriality. No? Hindi pala. Let's not solely focus on territoriality. Sometimes you also need to address yung generality principle na applicable sa bar question. Sabihin natin yung 2019 bar question. I forgot kung number B11 ba yun. Basta part 2 nung 2019 bar. Ang tanong dyan, no, hindi ko naman alam kung ano yung citizenship ng mga tao. Parang nasa Port of Manila yung vessel. O yan, yung vessel. The vessel was parang registered in a foreign country. Sabihin natin registered siya sa Netherlands o NED. NED. Okay, yan ang abbreviation ng Netherlands sa football. NED o NED. Netherlands registered yung vessel. O ngayon, yung victim, citizenship niya? Nakasakay sila onboard sila ng vessel, no? Sabihin natin ano siya? Malaysian. Yung perpetrator, natin Indonesian. Oh. What are the principles that we must apply in order to determine if the Philippines can exercise jurisdiction over this incident? Sabihin natin perpetrator of ano ba? The killing. Ayan. Homicide yung case, di ba? How can the Philippines exercise jurisdiction? The answer is yes. Why? We need to determine two principles. We need to determine, we need to apply the two principles provided sa case law. Una is generality. Di ba? Penal law shall be binding upon all who live or sojourn in the Philippines, in the Philippine territory. Tandaan yung important word talaga dyan is this. Sojourn. What does sojourn mean? Tawag dito. In Tagalog, napadpad eh. So, another word for sojourn is basically. Inside. Okay? Upon whole or inside the Philippine territory. Okay? So, pag sinabi yung generality, we're focused on the person. All. Pag sinabi niyong all, ang context nito is regardless of nationality. Most of the principles na meron sa batas natin, we just need to find the context. We just need to know how this principle is applied sa bar questions. Okay? Why? Hindi pala why. How is this applied, no? So generality, nakalagay dyan, all penal law shall be binding upon all who live or sojourn in the Philippine territory. All. What does that mean? It means it will apply to all regardless of citizenship. Okay? We're good. Territoriality. By the name itself, we're talking about ano dito? The place. Di ba? Dito, we're talking about the person, generality. Territoriality, we're talking about the place. Ito yung Article 2. Revised Penal Code. So ano yan, di ba? The provisions of this act by shall be enforced, di ba? Not only within the Philippine Archipelago and so on and so forth, but also outside of its jurisdiction against those who commit a crime while in a Philippine ship or airship. Hindi natin kailangan banggitin yung listahan na yun ng Philippine ship or airship. Kasi pasok na tayo dun sa general rule which is applicable po ang revised penal code applicable po ang revised penal code within the Philippine Archipelago. Bakit natin kailangan i-factor in yung generality, yung territoriality principle? Kasi nakalagay po sa bar question yung Port of Manila. Nagbanggit ng lugar eh. Kung hindi sinabi yan, edi generality principle lang i-invoke nyo. O kung ito naman na sinabi, Port of Manila, pero yung citizenship ng victim at saka nung perpetrator hindi sinabi, edi territoriality principle lang ang i-apply nyo. Pero sinabi silang pareho eh. That means, ang hinahanap sa atin, ang iniilisip sa atin ng bar examiner, both principles. Why can the why will the Philippines exercise jurisdiction over this crime? Port of Manila, territoriality principle. Port of Manila is within the Philippine archipelago. Oh. Malaysian, Indonesian, yung offended party at saka offender. Why can the Philippines exercise jurisdiction over this crime? Kasi generality. All who live or sojourn in the Philippine territory. Isa naman dito, Article 2, within the Philippine archipelago. Okay? Tama ba ako sa Philippine archipelago? Okay. Anyway, you get the point, no? Yan po. Ganyan ang style. O ngayon, pag walang binanggit na specific place, ulitin ko sa bar question, generality lang. Pag walang binanggit na specific nationalities ng mga partido sa insidente, territoriality ka lang. If parehong binanggit, you need to apply both. Pag hindi mo in-apply both, partial. Mapa-partial points ka. Okay? Let's move. Ay, laglag. Next topic, sa CRIM 1. Okay, mic check. Mic check. Okay, meron naman tayong voice. Possible crime. Okay, impossible crime. No? I was thinking nga Article 4, yung lagi natatanong sa bar, yung error in personae aberratio ictu saka praeter intentionem. Pero well, unang-una kaya nyo nang i-ano yan. Kaya nyo nang i-discuss yan, no? Ano ba? Paano ba? Iniisip ko kung i-discuss ko pa yung Article 4 paragraph 1 eh. Sige, bukayin muna natin to. Sige, discuss na nga natin. I'll discuss, no? Ilang beses pa natanong yung I need to check. Baka titingnan ko sa tally. Ilang beses ba natanong yung, okay, mali pala, no? Dapat yung Article 4 paragraph 1 talaga. Kasi nangyari sa stats na pag-spread out yung praeter intentionem, error in personae, saka aberratio ictus, pag pinag-combine natin sila lahat, ilang beses siyang natanong. Yeah, it was asked for 1, 2, 5 times. Should have been this one. So itatakil natin yung Article 4 paragraph 1 na lang instead of impossible crime. I guess kaya nyo naman impossible crime eh. So tandaan nyo dyan, dapat yung offense would have been the, diba, the criminal act, the act would have been an offense against persons or property. Doon lang siya limited, no? Walang personal security, walang liberty. Okay, we need to combine all of these things. Mali ako. Praeter intentionem. Okay, let's go. O ngayon, doon tayo sa ano. Bago natin itakil yung aberratio ictus, praeter intentionem na yan, saka error in personae. Before we tackle these principles, kailangan i-breakdown muna natin yung Article 4, Paragraph 1. So, nakalagay dyan is criminal liability is incurred by any person committing a felony, although the wrongful act done be different from that which he intended. No? So, yan, top of my head. Sana tama ako. Ano yung mga important words dyan? Una, felony. By any person committing a felony, although the wrongful act be different from that which he intended. Wrongful act done be different from that which he intended. Intended ang isang important na word dyan. Ibig sabihin, Article 4, Paragraph 1 is only applicable to the RPC. Kasi nakalagay felony. Next, intended. So it only applies to dolo. Hindi siya nag-apply sa culpa. Okay, kasi intended ang nakalagay. Okay, with that being said, let's build everything. No? Let's build tuloy. Let's break down everything. Criminal liability is incurred, di ba? By a person committing a felony, although the wrongful act done be different from that which he intended. Ganito kayo magsasagot sa bar. Sabihin natin, nagtanong, aberratio ictus, mistake in the blow ang tanong. Bago nyo sabihin yung principle ng aberratio ictus na mistake in the blow yan, itakal nyo muna, ilagay nyo muna sa bar exam question nyo, bar exam answer nyo yung Article 4, Paragraph 1. Kasi yun ang basis ng tatlo na yan. Okay? Ito yung foundation. You need to state the foundation first before you mention yung error in personae, praeter intentionem, saka aberratio ictus. Kasi this is your justification why you are saying na aberratio ictus nung nangyari in the first place. Okay? So yan, let's apply this, no? Actually, kung ito lang ang nasabi niyo, hindi niyo nabanggit yung aberratio ictus, baka i-5/5 na kayo eh. Kasi this is already complete in itself. Tingnan niyo, sabihin natin aberratio ictus, no? Ay, error in personae kasi yung pala yung una. So, error in personae is the offender, no? Intending to kill one person, no? Killed another by mistaken identity. Diba? Because of mistake in the identity. Okay. Sabihin natin, criminal liabilities incurred by any person committing a felony. What was the felony committed? Sabihin natin, ang gusto patayin ni Mr. A, yung neighbor. Pero napatay niya, no? Kasi gabi, ang napatay niya, tatay niya, father ang napatay, no? Ito yung intent. Ito yung result, basically, no? So, gabi, no? Probably treacherous. Murder dapat yan, di ba? Father ang napatay, parricide. Parricide ang crime ni Mr. A kasi natatay niya, napatay niya eh. So, buuin natin Article 4, Paragraph 1. Let's apply this provision, this paragraph, ito sa situation na to. Criminal liability is incurred by a person committing a felony. What was the felony committed by Mr. A? Parricide. Although the wrongful act, what's the wrongful act in this case? Killing his father. Killing his father. The wrongful act that be different from that which he intended. What was his intention? Killing his neighbor. Subuhin natin. The criminal liability was incurred by Mr. A because he committed the felony of parricide. Although the wrongful act done, which was killing his father, be different from what he intended, which was killing his neighbor. Di ba buo na? Basically, pinalitan lang natin yung nasa provision. Pinalitan nyo lang nung nasa factual circumstance natin. Ang niretain nyo lang yung different. Di ba? Sa criminal liability. Criminal liability is incurred by Mr. A, no, for felony, for parricide. Although, the wrongful act done, although killing his father was different from his intention of killing his neighbor. Di ba? Pwede yung ilagay doon, supporting legal base no yung what is the meaning of error in personam. Okay? Yan. Yun naman lagi ang tanong lang dyan sa article for paragraph 1, no? Yung tatlo, yung big three. Error in persona, mistake in the identity, no? Mistake in the blow, aberratio, at saka praeter intentionem, which the result exceeds the intent. O sabihin natin yun naman, sinuntok lang namatay kasi tumama yung ulo sa sahig na bagok, patay, di na nagising. Criminal liabilities incurred by Mr. A for homicide. Although the wrongful act done, what was the wrongful act done? Punching his opponent. Ay, killing his opponent. Be different from what he intended, which was merely to injure him. Nakalitan natin to. Sabi natin dito, homicide, di ba? Ano to eh, praeter intentionem, di ba? Homicide ang na felony. What was the wrongful act? Killing his rival. Ayan. Different from what he intended, which was merely to injure him, his rival. Di ba? Ganun lang. So, same thing for aberratio ictus. Ngayon, ang gusto kong i-focus other than ito, no? Ano ba ang nature ng uh, aberratio ictus? Kasi aberratio ictus po, mas madalas siyang natatanong sa bar. 3 times ang natanong. Once yung mistake in the identity, error in personae, and error in personae, and once din po yung praeter intentionem. So, 3 times yung aberratio ictus, mas favorite nila yon. With that being said, okay, wait lang. Just checking. Tama, no? Mas tinitingnan ko lang, di baka madalas din na tanong yung okay. Once lang talaga, yung dalawa, okay? Ang aberratio ictus, tandaan nyo, it's a complex crime. Ang error in persone, Article 49, yung praeter intentionem, one crime. Okay? Why? Po, complex crime ang aberratio ictus. How does aberratio ictus mean? Yung mistake in the blow. Mr. A intending to shoot Mr. B. Misses Mr. B and hits Mr. C. In Tagalog, ang gustong barilin ni A si B, pero tumamay bala kay C. Okay? Ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng aberratio ictus sa mistake in the identity? Sa aberratio ictus, wala pong mistake sa identity. Alam ni A na si B talaga babarilin niya at si B talaga babarilin niya. Sa iba lang po tumama yung bala. Ganun lagi yung mistake, ganun lagi yung aberratio ictus eh. So with that being said, there was a single act. Was a single act? Shooting a bullet or pressing the trigger, di ba? Shooting the gun. Pressing the trigger. And the trigger. Single act. It constitutes two or more, di ba? Grave or less grave felonies. In this case, nakapag-produce ba ng two felonies? Si Mr. A, the answer is yes. Kaya Mr. B, yung gusto niya talagang barilin, attempted homicide. O yung tinamaan si Mr. C, namatay, homicide, consummated eh. There was a complex crime of attempted homicide and consummated homicide. It was a complex crime. So ano po ang penalty? Di ba? The penalty for the most serious crime shall be imposed in its maximum period as provided under Article 48. So in this case, ayan na, nag-islaw na ng konti, nag-indeterminate sentence law na tayo. Ito yung most serious crime. O ano yung prescribed penalty dyan? RT, di ba? Reclusion temporal. You impose that in its maximum period. Yan ang penalty dyan, mga kapatid. Okay? Complex crime siya. Paano naman yung error in persona under Article 49? Ano ang sabi dyan? No? Gamitin natin to. Parricide murder. Di ba? Anyway, babasahin ko na lang, no? Sa ano, sorry. Alay ko rito, ang error in persona, one crime lang din. Bakit one crime? Isa lang naman yung na-produce na felony. Kasi mistake in the identity, wala naman yung isang tao doon. Wala yung isang tao doon sa senaryo, di ba? Isa lang yung pinatamaan talaga. Okay? Yan. Sabi po sa Article 49, error in persona. If the penalty prescribed for the felony committed be higher than that corresponding to the offense which the accused intended to commit, the penalty corresponding to the latter shall be imposed in its maximum period. Next paragraph, if the penalty prescribed for the felony committed be lower than that corresponding to the one which the accused intended to commit. Mahirap pa yung mga paragraphs, no? The penalty for the former shall be imposed in its maximum period. Ito gusto kong ipaalala sa inyo. Itong Article 48 sabi, most serious crime. Tama ba ako? Yes, most serious. Ito nga, kasya pa ba? Article 48, ang sabi dyan, most serious crime. Tandaan nyo sa Article 49, yung lesser crime, less serious. Okay? Lesser yan ang mag-a-apply in its maximum. Gamitin na lang natin yung unang paragraph nakalagay dyan. If yung penalty prescribed, no, tatayo na ako. If the penalty prescribed for the felony committed, sabihin natin, huwag natin gawing murder to. Gawin natin homicide lang. Kasi para naman ma-reclude ng perpetual murder parasite, so mahirap pangit gawa ng example, no? Sabihin natin homicide lang, no? Homicide at saka parricide. So nakalagay po sa Article 49, paragraph 1. Yung felony committed, penalty for that, higher. O, di ba? Siya pa ako. Ayan, parricide. Ano yung penalty for this? RP. O, ano, ito yung committed, di ba? Ano yung intention niya? Homicide lang. RT. Reclusion temporal. Ito yung intended. So, higher ito, di ba? Paragraph 1 yan. If the penalty prescribed for the felony committed be higher than the penalty prescribed for the offense which he intended to commit, like this one. Mas mataas yung na-commit kumpara sa kanyang intensyon. Ano ang resulta? Sabi sa Article 49, paragraph 1. The penalty corresponding to the penalty which he intended to commit. Kasi nakalagay dyan, the penalty corresponding to the latter. What's the latter? The penalty corresponding to the offense which the accused intended to commit. So, ano yung penalty? This one will be imposed in its maximum period. O di i-flip naman natin, ang gusto niyang patayin, yung tatay niya, pero ang napatay niya through mistake in the identity, yung kapitbahay niya. Ano ngayon ang magiging penalty for that? Anyway, yun yung next topic natin. Sige, ito muna yung una natin itakin, no? So, ano yung crime? The crime in this scenario, ang napatay tatay, di ba? Ang crime mo is parricide. Malamang, yun ang nakomit mo eh. Wala pong problema sa penalty. Ay, walang problema sa crime committed. Simple. No? Yun ang pasok na elements eh. Father was killed with intent to kill. Di ba? Parricide is the uh, parricide is the felony committed. But the penalty is modified. Parricide, but the penalty is just reclusion temporal in its maximum period. O ba't natin kailangan malaman yan? Kasi nga, ito, pasok sa indeterminate sentence law, which was asked for 7 times for the past 10 years, yung islaw. Hindi itong binabanggit ko sa Article 49. Yung islaw. Pumasok na islaw, di ba? Pwede kayong pahirapan. Kung magkakaroon ng correlation of multiple articles. No? Ilang beses ko nang sinasabi ito. Ang criminal law din, kaya okay din itakil kasi karamihan talaga caudal work. Caudal work yan, saka analysis. No, kung magbabasa man kayo ng kaso, ano lang, yung mga sa rape, ganyan, di ba? Rape, kailan ba nakokonsummate ng rape? Yung robbery with homicide, paano ba understanding natin? Yung mga ganyang bagay. Pero ang crime one, guys, it's pure talaga, almost pure. Caudal work and analysis of the provisions. So ito, Artimax lang. Pwede ka na mag-islaw. Di ba? Pwede na. Kasi hindi ka na reclusion perpetuity. Eligible for parole, yung tao. I-flip naman natin. Sabihin natin, ang intention ni Mr. A was to kill his father. So, intent. Ang intent niya ay parricide. Pero ang naging resulta, the neighbor was killed. So, homicide yun. What is the crime committed? Homicide. Hindi naman napatay yung tatay. What will be the penalty? Ito yung paragraph 2. Sabi sa paragraph 2 ng Article 49, if the penalty prescribed for the felony committed be lower than that corresponding to the penalty for the felony which the accused intended to commit, like this case. Committed, homicide lang, di ba? So, ang reclusion temporal lang. Di ba? It is lower than intention. Intended. Ang intended niya, parricide, which is reclusion perpetua. It's lower. Sabi rito sa provision, the penalty for the former shall be imposed in its maximum period. So ito, i-impose mo in its maximum period. Sabi former, di unang binanggit. So the crime would be homicide and the penalty will be RT in its maximum period. Ganun po iba yung treatment. Ulitin ko, one crime lang. Ito is a complex crime. Nakita niyo pagkakaiba, no? Ganyan dapat ang, di ba? We will not be able to parang break down, uh, we will not be able to break down, we will not be able to dig, no? This deep sa mga provisions kung masyado tayong focus sa pagbabasa ng cases. I'm just saying, no? Kailangan kasi, anyway, you need to understand the provisions on your own. Yun naman ako. The way you wanted it, the way your mind operates. Kailangan doon ma-etch yung provisions. No? You need to etch the provisions based on how your mind works. Ito po, this is how my mind works eh. So, ito po yung paraan na ginawa ko para mag-attach talaga sa isip ko yung mga yan. So, any case na binabasa ko later on, just a bonus. Dapat nga ganun ang treatment natin sa mga cases eh. No? To be honest with you. Kapag hindi doctrinal yung talagang what is consummated rape. Yung mga, alam niyo na, yung mga basic pakikita sa ating illustration ng how is kidnapping committed. Ganyan, mga ganyan bagay, no? Yung mga ganyan, on top na lang siya. Dapat talaga, kailangan ma-etch sa isip nyo yung interplay ng mga provisions like this one. Like yan. Diba? First scenario, second scenario, first scenario. Diba? Iba yung crime, pero parang penalty. Diba? Pero pag complex crime, scenario mo sa abiraso, ectomatic, most serious crime, maximum period. Okay. O pag predator intention,